This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Trade.
G'day punters, the JackJumpers taking on the Adelaide 36ers here, and I reckon the JackJumpers could be staring down the barrel of a win here because the Adelaide 36ers, there's two things that they do really well at the moment. Let's turn the ball over and don't play much defence, and I would know about that. It's how I used to play, and I'll tell you what, it doesn't result in too many wins, so I'm going to have to go with the JackJumpers here. I reckon this is one they can pounce on before Adelaide just get back to a little bit of form. So we'll take the JackJumpers in the head-to-head marker. We'll also take them at the line. Anytime it gets that close, always going to start taking that one, and the total points under here. Although the defence efficiency is down on the Adelaide 36ers, I'm not sure that the JackJumpers are going to have enough firepower, especially from their imports, to be able to get it done. Enjoy the game and gamble responsibly.
Hello everybody and welcome Friday Night Hoops, Hungry Jack's NBL from My State Bank Arena. Last time these two teams met in this particular complex, it was a ripping contest and the stakes are a little bit higher as both these teams desperately need a win. Wherever you might be, hello to you, Cam Luke, Liam Santa Maria, Pete Hawley, and gentlemen, Friday night, not quite do or die, but both of these teams, as I said, need to get a dub in 4 quarters time.
No, you're right, in its own right. This is an important game. Both these teams looking to bounce back. Tassie, of course, went down to Southeast Melbourne last week, and Adelaide, they've lost 2 on the trot. But for the JackJumpers, bright shining light in their last game was Will Magnate. Great to get the big fella up and about. They went to him above the rim early. That helped get him going and went on to have a big breakout performance. 10 points, 8 rebounds. Those numbers don't jump off the page, but the 5 blocks, one of the premier rim protectors in the league when he's playing well, and he needs to try to build on that one tonight.
Well, he does. It just looked good to see him smiling. He loved it, the energy. You can see it right here, a little grin on his face, and why wouldn't you? That's what they've got to do. Get him involved early, often. We need to see more of that Will Magnate tonight.
He's part of the DoorDash starting 5 for the JackJumpers. Hungry? Fire up DoorDash and order your game day essentials. Now, Matt Kenyon starts there as well. So the starting 5, Adams, Bridgette, Kenyon, McVeigh and Magnate. But the big question mark, Liam Santa Maria, is over the trio of imports right now wearing the JackJumpers jersey.
Yeah, it's interesting to see Matt Kenyon come in. His first start for the JackJumpers, but you're right. This import trio, Bridgette, Adams, McIntosh off the bench, they need to score some points. There you see the numbers from last game, 7 of 36 from the field. Bridgette, 9 assists, getting everyone involved, but those guys need to score, put points on the board, just take the pressure off that entire team's offense. Bit of pressure on those boys tonight.
DoorDash starting 5 in the team lineup for the Adelaide 36ers. We'll get to that man very shortly, but there is no Mitch McCarron tonight. COVID health and safety protocols. You got anything for us, Pete Hawley, around this story?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. They're definitely going to miss him, but he's been listed as a close contact due to a positive case within the organisation. So just him listed as a close contact, which rules him out of tonight's game. But he can play on Sunday, so he's healthy. He has tested negative, which would make him very frustrated, I'm sure, right now, not being able to help them in such an important game.
Well, that man right there, Sunday Detch, he's going to help because he's been playing really well since coming back from injury. Had a really nice night against Illawarra there with the 20 points, 6 of 10 from 3. And in his 3 games since coming back, 14 a game, hitting 3 triples per game at 56%. Career high scoring average across those 3 games. Now, he's going to have to carry the ball a little bit more tonight in the absence of Mitch McCarron. He's going to have to get a job done defensively. You'd imagine he would go to either Josh Bridgette or Josh Adams off the tip, but he's been playing outstanding ball over the last couple of games for the 36ers. Needs to keep it rolling.
We mentioned the JackJumpers imports. Well, Dusty Hannah's that man who played really well last time they were in this building, but those numbers for a man who's got a huge reputation coming into the league, Pete Hawley, aren't likeable.
Well, he's been very disappointing so far. Only took 4 shots against the Hawks in about 14 minutes played, and tell you what, we know the Sixers want more from him. They need to see more. They need guys to be able to come in and put some points on the board. And he really has no other choice tonight. With Mitch McCarron out, we know Mitch McCarron's not going to be that 20-point scorer, but this is more opportunity for Dusty Hannahs to have the ball in his hand, and hopefully he can come out here and have a big one.
Two teams that have struggled to find consistency at different times over the start of what has been a disjointed NBL22. Pete Hawley, prediction?
Well, without their leader, Captain Mitch McCarron, I think the JackJumpers might get on a roll here.
I think Adelaide. Tough to win on the road, and it's been tough to win in Tassie, despite their struggles as an expansion franchise. But Adelaide really, really need this game.
Majet guarded by Detch. McVeigh. Straight into the starting five for Kenyon. Finds Adams for three. And they misfire on 2 threes to kickstart their first possession.
Josh Adams now 8 of 45 from 3 to start the season. Just cannot buy one from out there.
Well, great pass inside, and in the end, Bairstow to Withers, and a nice easy layup to kickstart the 36ers night. The Jet turned it down. Little two-man game with McVeigh, just slips out of the hands. It's Bairstow v Bairstow tonight. We'll see the brotherly love as the night continues. Here is Bairstow. Takes a little bump, finishes with the left hand, kisses it off the window. First 4 points for the 36ers.
He's playing well, Cam Bairstow, and he's a tough cover on those elbow catches. Can knock it in if you give him a little space, but can put it on the deck like he did just there.
Adams gets a little shooter's roll. That always makes you feel a little bit better, Pete Hawley. You're talking about his struggles from beyond the arc. Uses momentum there, knocks a 12-footer in. Bairstow. This time it's Daniel Johnson who got deep on his former teammate McVeigh. Wrapped him up. It'll stay on the floor.
Well, that's what they can do. Last time these two teams played, I know they're old teammates, but Daniel Johnson on the block against Jack McVeigh, that is a mismatch. Daniel Johnson backs himself against a lot of different guys around the league. His ability to hit the fadeaway, scores in a variety of ways. Very good at getting fouled. See if they go to him again.
Shot clock down to 7. Bairstow for 3. Now they'll try and push through Majet. Kenyon. Majet uses the McVeigh screen, dribbles back out. Shot clock now into single figures as McVeigh straight on 3. Did everything but drop. Here is Daniel Johnson. Had to be the double team with the mismatch, but the extra pass from Bairstow missed Withers. First turnover for the night for the 36ers.
They just didn't quite have the execution there. The 36ers was a good idea. Go to DJ on the mismatch, double team, and then the extra pass just went through Withers' hands. But I like it. Needs to be a steady diet of Daniel Johnson. He hasn't had enough shots the last few games for Adelaide. Just 8 shots and 7 shots in his last 2 games. Need more of DJ.
Kenyon steps up, nothing but net his first shot of the night. They're living and dying by the 3-point line right now. 5 attempts from beyond the arc in 2.5 minutes. They've nailed 2 of them. And they have their first lead of the night. Hannes tries to be crafty, got lucky off the foot. It'll stay with the 36ers.
Big knockdown by Matt Kenny into the starting lineup to replace Sam McDaniel, who picked up the 2 early fouls in the game against the Phoenix. I'm not sure that's the reason why he's not starting, but you've already seen Matt Kenny's energy on the glass as Dusty Hannes, nice little floater down the lane. That's a good way to start his night.
Back to the starting lineup for Hannes. Majet just lobs it up to Magnay. We spoke about the Magnay that we grew accustomed to a couple of years ago, Liam, and we've seen it more on display last week in an early glimpse there.
Got to get him involved, and that's the best way to do it. Find him as the roll man above the rim.
Johnson couldn't find Hannes. Now we'll go the other way. Adams craftily gets into the key, couldn't make it finish. It'll stay with Adelaide.
Here's another look at that pass from Majet. It's good vision. As they move the ball around the perimeter. Magnay open as the roll man.
Another bad pass. Bairstow to Withers. That's straight out of court.
A
couple of turnovers.
They're trying to find that mismatch down low. Just the passing hasn't been on point. And here comes Mikhail McIntosh into the game. Came out with a lot of energy and aggression when he came onto the floor against the Phoenix. And he's one that Scott Roth definitely wants more out of.
Jared McVeigh takes a seat. Here is McIntosh. Kenyon feeling himself. Gets inside. This time it's a little shorty. It's going to stay with Tassie. Adelaide disagree. We've spoken a lot about the Tassie imports. What we want from them, what they need from him. And Anthony Stewart, of course, the legend is courtside. Stewie, for the first time, welcome in. What's the latest when you're talking to Scott Roth in the camp?
Yeah, great to be here. Caught up with Coach Roth during the week for a coffee. Obviously, Magnay last week passed the pub test, but he's really looking for some strong output for these imports. And I asked him, what does that look like? And he said 55 points at a good rate. So they got Adelaide tonight, New Zealand on Sunday, and if these blokes can't get it done, I've got a feeling there might be some changes.
Anthony Stewart, courtside, great pass inside. Daniel Johnson, just what Liam Santamaria ordered. He's able to kiss it in with the list. He's first of the night.
Well, it's interesting to hear him just speak on it as simply as that. So 55 points at a high percentage. It's a reasonably high bar for this trio. But it's what we spoke about, Cam, on NBL Overtime this week, as Majed banks that one in from mid-range. The way this inaugural roster is built, we knew coming into the year that import trio was going to need to be highly productive at the offensive end for them to be competitive, as Hannah's knocks down another bucket, and they just haven't been there over the course of the season.
Kenyon. Majed turned it down, guarded by Dead. Shot clock's down the 7th, so they get busy. Magnay tries to use it off the dribble, kicks it out. Shot clock at 3. I think Dusty Hannahs might have bailed him out. When he put it on the floor, he did. His first of the night. It'll stay with the JackJumpers.
And Liam, you mentioned about Mikhail McIntosh in particular, that for that game against the Phoenix, got the tap on the shoulder from Scott Roth saying, I need more out of you. And look, he's been very slow, obviously, coming off the bench, but what hasn't helped his cause is the fact that the main two guys to start on the imports, Adams and Majed, haven't done enough to be able to take pressure off him in terms of come in, make an impact, score here, start feeling good about yourself, because when they're not ticking the scoreboard over, he comes in and he's thinking, well, I've got to do even more than what I would normally have to do.
In sideline, had the heel on it.
One guy who has been ticking it over for Tassie is Clint Steindl. Just checked into the game. He's been terrific, the captain off the bench. Double figures in 5 of Tasmania's 8 games and shooting the 3-ball at 43%. So need to run some action for him, as they usually do, now that he's checked into the game.
Gosoto into the game for his first minutes as well. And they've gone pretty small, the JackJumpers. Daniel Johnson wants to take advantage of it over McIntosh. We've seen that 1,000 times, probably more. 2,000 times in his career, nothing but net. He's got 4. Adams. Shot clock again to 9 without any fluency. This time he dribbles a 17-footer, takes a tough shot over the big man. It's going to stay with the 36ers.
It's those contested pull-ups from Josh Adams that I think ends up adding towards his inefficiencies. 2 of 14 from the field last week. Prior to that, he had a couple of really good games. He had a 23-point game, a 21-point game, attacking the rim. Remember 10 of 11 from the free throw line against, I think it was Melbourne United? Needs to get that aggressive mindset back.
Kept alive. Ditch. Now they want to push. Here it is, a little aggression from Adams, and he takes it straight at Ditch, who got his hand caught in the cookie jar. He'll go to the foul line for 2, and I'm assuming that's what you want to see.
Well, it definitely is, as you said, Liam, be able to attack and hit downhill. And the way that last possession unfolded, and see here, Sunday Detch went for a little bit of a stunt to the corner, and Adams attacked, but Kai Soto came into the game, was playing in that drops, and you're right, it's a late contest, and it might look like it's open, but when you're struggling, that's going to be a contested shot. You want to get those easy ones, and a lot of it's the spacing as well on the floor for the JackJumpers. We know how athletic he is to be able to get downhill, and if that's the way the defense is playing, right now you've got Kai Soto playing in that drops, and Daniel Johnson, you know, you can exploit off the ball screen. Got to get a bit more spacing so that Adams can use his speed, his agility to be able to get past those bigs and try and put some heat on the rim.
Adams hits the back end of it. He's got 3 on the night. Dufemeier in for his first minutes. No stranger to playing in Tassie, of course, part of the NBL1 crew down here. Here's Hannah starting to feel it. Daniel Johnson gets away with a push. No, he doesn't get away with it. He thought he was going to. And now Sam McDaniel enters in for his first minutes of the night. Josh Adams takes a seat.
There we go.
First quarter, My State Bank Arena. Majek Gunner by Dufemeier. That'll be an offensive foul. The referees have been big on this. This time on Krizlovic. Been big on the offensive foul, making sure the big man is set when rubbing off that screen, and that's in full force there.
The foul's on the big, not on Majek. The foul's on the big, not just Majek. The foul's on foul.
Check the number. No, 20. 20. 20. Yeah.
Just correcting that. 20 in versus Josh Majek, who's number 2.
That's what happens when you do it the old way.
Scott Roth is on top of it.
Yeah, bloody oath he was. What a pass. First one, no good. Second tip in, fine. And that lead now 4. Sky Soto gets his first bucket of the night. Continuing his nice vein of form. There's Krizlovic, little half jump hook. Misses the first one. Second one, he follows it in. Was able to get around Soto and tip it in himself.
Stuck with the play. Krizlovic. Soto contest the first one, but then didn't block out. Krizlovic now with a duck inside for the putback.
Dusty Hannahs had to come out and respond tonight. A lot been made of it in the last couple of days. He's hit a couple of jumpers early. Now he's earned himself a couple of freebies from 15 foot. He looks a lot more aggressive tonight, Liam.
He does. Certainly on the front foot, not just blazing away. So 2 of 4 from the field. Chance to get his 5th and 6th points now. But talk about Kai Soto moments ago. Nice to see him get some serious burn these last couple of games. It's exciting to have him sign in our league. He's obviously, a talented young prospect and has a lot of support out of the Philippines. But I think he's actually done pretty well with his minutes these last couple of games. Had 6 and 9 against Melbourne, 12 and 5 against Illawarra. So Isaac Humphrey's out with the knee injury. Soto now in as the backup big and getting a chance to strut his stuff.
One shot.
He doesn't have to do anything flashy. He's just got that length to just be able to disrupt some shots on the defensive end, hang around the offensive glass, throw the occasional lob to him. With Isaac Humphreys out, as you said, plenty of room to grow. Those opportunities are going to be there.
4-point Adelaide lead. Jared Weeks in for his first minutes. Again, a disjointed offense, so Clint Steindl, the hot man, forces it up. It's no good this time. 1 of 6 from the 3-point line. Early are the JackJumpers. Dufemeier and Soto, a little 2-man game. Dufemeier goes away for it. Now it's Dusty Hannahs from Kmart. Nothing but net. And this is the Dusty Hannahs we expected to see. Pete Hawley was big pre-game. He's going to have a nice night, and early indications as he just continues to rack up his early points. He's got 9 in the first quarter.
Well, I did throw it out before we went to air that he would drop 30 and copped a few giggles around the place, and fair enough after the way he started, but it's good aggression from Dusty Hannahs.
Sam McDaniel on the O board, picked his moment, earned himself a couple of foul shots as well.
He's got to feel good for Dusty Hannahs. Got himself going a little bit more towards the rim and then just lets it fly from way downtown. Just ticks into single digits on the shot clock. Had Besto down low with a bit of a mismatch, but said, you know what? I've got a little space out here. And this is a guy who had, averaged 21 a game in the G League a couple of seasons ago. Now, he can score in the G League. Not as much D, nowhere near as much D played in that league as you get in a regular NBL game. And the spacing on the floor, the arc is wider, the lane's wider, defensive 3 seconds. So it's been a matter of trying to find his spots, get used to how to score in the FIBA game. Still going through that process, but 9 first quarter points here will feel good.
Well, it's kind of the silver lining to Sam and Daniel misses both. Losing your captain, losing your point guard who has the ball in his hands a lot. Good pass there from Dufemeier. And a good finish on the other end by Harris. But he's going to have to put up these numbers. He's going to have to be able to shoot the ball a lot more, be more aggressive. And maybe this is the type of game and opportunity to turn his season around.
Weeks, tough. Soto came over with some secondary defense. Good pick up. Prislovic, left-hand jump hook from 7 foot, only went 4 foot. And now an opportunity here for Adelaide to make it double figures. Besto can't.
No foul underneath. Jack McVeigh, a little bump here behind Ko Soto, who was in offensive rebounding position. That's the 4th team foul on Tassie here. So you just watch underneath McVeigh, a little extra curricular activity there with Soto. Adelaide baseline out of bounds.
Here is Hannes, 9 points first quarter, feeling himself. Little reverse this time. Finishes on the left, he's in the double figures. The lead is 11, he has 11. This is a perfect start for Adelaide. Steindl. Harris with the hand in the face, probably did enough. Long shot, long rebound. JackJumpers get another chance. Weeks. Got it. Needed it right in front of the JackJumper bench. They get up. He finds nothing but twine. His first bucket of the night.
You're right. They really needed that. The JackJumpers been pretty dry offensively throughout this quarter. That's not a bad way to finish.
But a 2-second difference between a shot and game clock. Harris. Little spin. Just handed off to Soto. Probably had a layup. Probably a little unselfish in the end. Kai Soto in the end is going to earn some foul shots as well, but Harris was able to find him with the shot clock dwindling.
Got a bit lucky there. The 36 here, CJ Bruton yelling, trying to get the ball to Dufemeier, run something, maybe get the ball back into Dusty Hanna's hands. Harris had to make some sort of play. And I think even the JackJumpers thought that he was probably going to have a layup. That's why they ended up fouling Soto, because the ball landed in his lap.
All of a sudden, we have a lot of Tasmanians starting to lick their lips. It's Kai Soto. Breaks their hearts. Waiting a second. 4.5 seconds, though. Plenty of time for the JackJumpers. Jared Weeks, nonchalantly, gets a great little bump. In the end, play on. It's a miss. 10 minutes in the books. Adelaide 36 is paced by that man, Dusty Hannas, with 11. They lead by 9. My State Bank Arena, Hungry Jacks NBL, Friday night, second quarter. On the other side of this. First quarter done and dusted. Magnay above the rim. All NBL fans love to see that. Josh Adams aggressive early. CJ Bruton will be happy though, because that man, Dusty Hannahs, has 11 in the first quarter as he finds form. And all thanks to Kmart, $50 Kmart gift voucher. Congratulations to Heather Finette, who's the winner. They love attending My State Bank Arena. It's their first NBL game. This is the photo of them attending My State Bank Arena. Big Lou, the big boy. Well, they were excited to see him in person and compare their height to his. I'm guessing they were a little shorter. If they weren't, someone sign them up. But congratulations, all thanks to Kmart. $50 Kmart gift card on the way.
Well, he really was the difference in that first quarter. Dusty Hannahs pretty tightly contested, apart from his ability to put points on the board. 11 first quarter points for him. Nobody else in the game with more than 4.
Withers, Hannahs, Johnson, Bairstow and Detch for the 36ers. McVeigh, Krislovich, McDaniel, Steindl and Weeks. For the Jack Jumpers, as the shot clock gets into single figures. Detch guarded by Weeks. Krislovich, good hands. McDaniel, Weeks, step back, turned down the half, little first three, couldn't get it to go.
That was interesting. Jared Weeks, shot fake just to bring the defense even closer, make it a tougher shot for him. Good steal, good aggression on the ball screens defensively from the Jack Jumpers to start this second quarter.
McVeigh. Weeks hit a 3 late in the first. Same side of the court. Off that time, Bairstow with the rebound. And now Sunday Detch will push at the urgings of CJ Bruton, who wants it inside to Daniel Johnson. Here is a DJ inside. Spins away, takes the bump. CJ Bruton wanted it. They took their time, they got it to him, and now they get 3 points the old-fashioned way.
Love it. Go inside to DJ. He's a tough cover down there, and they've made a really concerted effort to pound the ball inside Adelaide. They've got a lot of mismatches down there. And that's a mismatch that Daniel Johnson can certainly take advantage of against Fabian Krislovich. But 9 of Adelaide's 10 field goals made prior to that bucket, so 10 of 11 in the painted area. A lot of post touches. This is a team that has a high frequency of post-ups in terms of the way they go about it offensively, and it's causing the Jack Jumpers some problems in this first half.
7 points for Johnson. Here's Weeks. Little pick and roll. Magnay was able to get it to go. He's got 4.
He's done a good job defensively keeping the ball out of Dusty Hannah's hands as he gets it on cue.
In and out, did enough. Bairstow, great offensive rebound. Spun himself into a little bit of trouble in the end. Weeks just lobs it up for Magnay. Big boy inside, takes the bump from Bairstow. Great defense by Cam Bairstow to deny him, and now Hannahs wants to take on Weeks. And he does exactly that. He's feeling it. He's got 13.
Well, he's been very aggressive, getting that ball in transition. Taking the contact, good balance still, even though he's fading away. Good touch off the backboard.
Steindl uses the screen for Magnay to get the 16th foot and knock it down off the dribble.
Come on, dig in! Come on! We go big.
Here is Hannahs, already hit one from the Kmart sign. This time tries to draw the double team. Cam Bairstow behind the play has gone down and is really shook up, as you can see there. Might try and get a replay of it. There is a foul. That was on the ball. Bairstow was off the ball as he gets helped up by his teammates.
Here it is, Cam Bairstow. Oh, just cop one from Jared Weeks, bumping the cutter. Right in the perfect spot, it seems. Trying to get his breath back. Have a nice one, you're not expecting it to land right in that perfect spot.
Malou in for his first minutes of the night.
10-point lead now for Adelaide and Jack Jumpers, and right now they're 8 of 26 from the field, and Across the course of the season, they're last in the league in field goal percentage, 38%, last in three-point percentage at 26%, and last in free throw percentage at 65%. So, struggling to shoot the ball, struggle to win some games.
Hannah's tried to split a double team, it's to no avail. Midget thought about it, let it long. In the end, 2 of 12 from beyond the arc to JackJumpers, and the 36ers run back on him. Denied at the rim, now it's Adams.
Great defensive play by Steindl. Chasing that down and sending it away.
Here is Steindl. Takes on Malou. Great defense, Sunday Detch. Says whatever you can do, I can do better.
Oh, the timing at both ends of the floor. Great timing from Sunday to deny Clint Steindl. Met him at the summit. And here's Steindl down the other end. They'll sleep a little in defensive transition, the JackJumpers, but Steindl bailed him out.
They're sneaky. We saw him drive baseline, get a nice little dunk in the last game. Clint Steindl, and then a couple of possessions later, had one in transition, tried to go up off 2 feet and realised, no, a 1-foot jumper.
It's going to stay on the ground, as we heard from the as the referee, Midget, trying to argue. Continuation rule sometimes can be a little confusing.
Four,
Scott Roth
four,
not happy.
Holding on. This way. Here we go. Great.
It's going to stay on the baseline.
Come in. Let's go.
It's 2 on Sunday Detch, who looks like he'll take a seat as he heads towards CJ Bruton and the bench. Dufamar comes in. 10-point lead, Hungry Jacks NBL Friday night. No Mitch McCarron, but so far Dusty Hannahs has been the man.
White. Not in the chest. White one.
There we go. Dufamar trying to force his way through a screen. And we'll do it all again from the baseline. 14 seconds on the shot clock for the JackJumpers. Little eyebrow raise from Adams, got him in the air, but Steindl did everything but drop. Go again. Adams, third time lucky for the JackJumpers. Might have got away a little bit of a walk. In the end, it didn't matter. And the lead stays at 10. 1 of 6, Josh Adams to start this one. Idea was sound, pass was putrid. Steindl. He thought about it for a split second.
That
again met at the rim.
That is ambitious.
And denied, and now it's Dufamar on the other end, gets 2 feet in the paint, and should have shot it, yet tried to force the pass. This has been an ugly minute. Thank you, Will Magnay. Just ending that lunacy. He's having a lady with the left. The lead is to 8, and we'll get a timeout.
That was very ambitious from Clint Steindl, and he might be around 6'7", 6'8", but you're not going to get in there and do much against Guy Soto. He throws that out.
Eight-point lead for the 36ers. Dusty Hannahs, the big conversation coming in from an Adelaide point of view. He's had a great start. They lead by 8. And this time out, though, Anthony Stewart is joined. He's the legend. He's joined by another legend. Stewie, take it away.
Yeah, NBL royalty in the house in Cal Bruton. Recruited me into the league, NBL Hall of Famer. It's a bit of deja vu with me signing Brooklyn Bruton into the NBL 1, and that's why Cal's here to talk a little bit about that. How are you feeling about that, Cal?
Very excited, Stewie. Having a great opportunity for young Brooklyn to come in like you came in the league, and you know, to have an opportunity to play in the Hobart Chargers, learn under you, attend University of Tasmania, be involved with the Swisher organization. I don't think it gets much better than that for a young man.
No, it doesn't. CJ, let's turn our attention to him. Adelaide have come out really focused, undermanned, doing a really good job right now. How's he enjoying the move into head coach?
He's really enjoying the challenge. It's a big challenge, particularly during these times, but he's put together a plan to build the program over the long term, and I'm excited for him because he's all in.
Thanks, Cal. Look forward. I suppose we'll see a bit more of you down in Tasmania now.
Looking forward to coming, Stewie.
Thanks, my man.
Beautifully done, Anthony Stewart. The Chargers, the Bruton name will live on in Tasmania on a playing perspective in the NBL 1.
What a superstar. Doesn't look great.
He looks younger every time I see him. Soto left it at the rim to Daniel Johnson. The big man did the rest.
That's what you're talking about, Lamb. Just having a little impact in his minutes. Up to 5 points now. Just a single rebound. We've got the block. Just hangs around in the right areas. Going to continue to grow, continue to mature in his game.
Adams just inside the three-point line, nothing but net. So he tries to find a little bit of a groove. Anthony Stewart told us earlier, Scott Roth wants 55 points out of his 3 imports at a high clip. So far, they've got 7, and they trail by 8. Little bump, McVeigh to Withers. It'll stay on the baseline.
Well, they've had a few looks at Kai Soto down low in the last few possessions, sometimes forcing it there. DJ, big to big, just puts it right on the spot. Soto knows what to do with it. And down the other end, last few possessions, doing a pretty good job with Will Magnay. Helping out on the ball screen, coverage, a little mush defensive strategy where you just absorb the penetration of the ball handler but take away the lob threat. He's done a reasonable job of that with Magnay these last couple of possessions.
Shot clock at 5. Here is Soto. Great pocket pass from Dufemeyer. And again, draws a crowd and draws a foul. The big man will head back to the foul line.
Well, the initial fumble might have helped him there because the defense came across, bodied up well, had to regather the ball, and then McIntosh came in with the hand foul. I just love, as we said, it gets in the right spots. It's going to continue to learn, continue to get better. One positive about the Adelaide 36ers start to the season, we know they've been disappointing, but they've actually won every single rebounding count in the games they've played so far. And we know Mitch McCarron's a great rebounding guard. Everybody else chiming in here, and then Kai Soto started to get on the boards. Cam Bairstow averaging 8. He's been a revelation. They'll do well at crashing the boards. They've got 17 on the night so far to the 12 of the JackJumpers. 4 of them on the offensive end.
7 points for Soto, leads at 10.
Where they've been sensational in that regard is on the offensive classes in particular. Lead the league in offensive rebounding percentage. Cam Bairstow, a massive part of that. First in offensive rebounds individually. Smith gets his way to the rim. Again, no continuation. Take that out of bounds.
I think it's a fair question. Baseline. 14 on the shot clock as it resets. 4.5 minutes left. Adams, 2 in a row. He can't hit it. Get his own rebound. He'll start again. Through Majet. Guarded by Dufemeyer. Top of the key. There's that Magnay screen. Little 2-man game. Stop. I got nothing for you, Liam. I thought he was going to step back and take a 27-footer, and then he tried to force a tough pass. Mojave King loses it in his first possession, and now they'll push. Should be able to score here. Adams does on the finger roll over Dufemeyer.
Nikita Mikulovsky into the game for his first run. Ooh. And I think he wanted the lob there. So did Kai Soto, didn't get it. Scott Roth trying to find a little bit of a spark.
Adams feeling it, bullies his way to the bucket. Dufemeyer wasn't set. It's a blocking foul, and Josh Adams has been a lot more aggressive the last minute or two. Talk us through this.
Well, this is one thing that the JackJumpers have been good at this season. They lead the league in steals. And Adelaide, of course, second last in turnovers, so that's a key area tonight. And their defensive pressure igniting this opportunity on the breakaway. And that is big. Nikita Mikhailovsky, the Russian next star, 2-time VTB Young Player of the Year, has not played a second on the floor this regular season before now. Scott Roth, the young man's missed last game in COVID protocols, back into the lineup today and getting some first half run.
There was an opportunity there, Pete, for Adams to give the next star an early maybe layup or dunk, and
well,
he chose to take it himself.
I mean, Josh Adams probably wanted the oop as well.
True.
Both of them are trying to figure it out.
He's got 8, Josh Adams, as he starts to try and bullock his way into this game. Dufemeyer too easy in the end. That is as easy as it comes. Does all the hard work, dispels of the defense and lays it in. That leads back to 9. Here's McIntosh. Takes the bump. That'll go close to counting. Scott Roth wants it to count. We wait. Referee says no, it was still on the way up.
I'll have another look at it here. McIntosh, this is what he can do well in transition. Oh, might have been well timed by Kaisada, but here's a little. We haven't seen Mikulovsky now. Born in Russia, but he was the first player to have a triple-double in the 2019 FIBA Under-19 World Cup since Dario Saric in 2013. So he can play. I know you were high on him with the initial signing. We haven't seen him so far, and now gets a little chance to show what he can do.
Well, that's a really good league, that Russian league, the VTB. Don't worry about that. And, you know, obviously the comfort of playing in his homeland and doing really good work for that Avtodor team. Shooting 40+% from 3 year in, year out. First couple of seasons as a pro. So he's a sniper. Scott Roth, speaking with him earlier in the year, said he's got some learning to do at the defensive end of the floor, as so many of these young prospects and the next stars do. And he's had to earn his way into some playing time. And nice to see him get some run out there tonight.
You mentioned that league, one young player led that league twice. So, plenty in his early young resume. See what he can do with this little opportunity. Good knockdown there from Mojave King.
The other next star, or the 36er next star, leads at 9. Just feel the last couple of minutes, Tasmania have been trying to build some momentum, yet they haven't been able to really chip into this lead too much. McIntosh takes his seat, only 6 minutes tonight so far. Steindl back on. Majet Gadabo do for Maya. Sunday Detch on the bench with a couple of fouls. Shot clock down to 7. Majet pulls over that left. Pretty couple of hard dribbles. Using the screen, was able to find it from 15 foot. He's had a nice night, Majet.
He has. His shot selection's been very good, and he's turned down a couple. And there you go, Josh Adams getting in the lane. Mojave King trying to whip that pass to Dusty Hannes. Pass fake would have thrown Adams out of the way. Hannes might have had a nice, easy one. But I love that Josh Majet, we saw it early in the first quarter, coming off those ball screens and just waiting. Early in the season, we've seen him take those long contested ones, tries to get in deep, try and force things. He's only taken the 3 field goal attempts so far.
4 points and 1 assist on the stat sheet, but it feels like he's having a better night than that. As he has it on cue. Adams straight on 3. Got it! He's starting to feel it. That leads back to 4. I spoke about the momentum. They couldn't ship into it. They now have last 5 points for the JackJumpers. He's in the double figures. He's the double team. Able to get out of it. Dufamada Fairstow, who was shook up minutes ago, comes straight back on. He's able to get that to go for his 4th point. As Adams takes the bump, but he'll go the foul line. This is the Josh Adams we know when he's aggressive and getting to the line and at the foul line. It's a much better watch.
How he needs to play, for sure. Put the Jets on, put some heat on the defense. The previous possession, good shot to take. Pick and pop there with Majet. He's wide open for the straightaway 3. Catch and shoot, knocks it down. And the JackJumpers building some momentum, cutting into this margin. And they're building it primarily. It starts at the defensive end. After they score, it's easy to just jog back, match up at halfway or beyond. They're getting up the floor. Double teams in the backcourt. Speeding Adelaide up is the team we know will throw it away. As I said, second last in the league in turnovers. Only Cairns throwing more. 9 turnovers already. 2.5 minutes to play in this first half. 7 different 36ers have already thrown it away. So good job from the JackJumpers clawing their way back in this thing.
Adams with 12. Lead is 5. Hannes. Great block. Huge block for Cam Bairstow. Meat and potatoes. Perfect timing as always. Just goes, I'll snaffle it and lay it in. Gets to the middle, kisses it off the window.
Well, a double's going to come there. I mean, we know Will Magnay not going to roll it into him too often to go one-on-one, but had a mismatch there, and no one came to him. Just got to his sweet spot. Good finish towards the middle.
Bairstow just gets to wherever he wants, takes the bump. They're bigger. They have made a concerted effort to go inside, be it Daniel Johnson or Cam Bairstow. And at that point, he just got too deep. There's the Dusty Hannah's try and lay up the Magnay block and the Bairstow offensive rebound.
But this is what Cam Bairstow does. He can see Will Magnay coming across, and he knows that that ball's going to be up for grabs potentially. He's just so smart about the way he goes about his business. Just, we keep talking about it. What an excellent signing from the Adelaide 36 to give him that chance. We know it was a whole risk versus reward. Is he going to be healthy for the entire season? Is he going to be able to produce at a level that they know he can? But it's just so smart with the way he goes about his business. And speaking of that, that's what Josh Magette has been doing well to start this game.
9 points, 8 boards for Cam Bairstow, flirting with a double-double in the first half of this one. Huge reason as to why Adelaide have a 6-point lead. Dufemire couldn't finish it. Daniel Johnson this time. Liam, you spoke about the offensive rebounding and how well they've done it all season. It's coming to the fore again tonight.
Dominating around the rim. It's old school basketball. A lot of post-ups. Don't see that a lot. Analytics don't love post-ups in terms of your points per possession, but the 36ers do, and through Johnson and Bairstow and their work on the offensive glass, steal there from Hannah's. They're putting points on the board.
Touching the knees, he goes down. Kenyon, little stutter step, no good. That's going to be on Adams over the top. Yes, it will be.
20, 14.
If you wait to see Dusty Hannah's pulled up after he hit the ground pretty hard, clutched the knee. Here's the replay of it. Oh, just banged the knee. Kind of a bit of ungainly defense, just kind of put him off without being able to put a body on him. From Magette, he's up slightly. Hopefully he'll be okay as we head to a timeout. 8-point lead for the 36ers into the last minute of the first half. He's having a look. No Mitch McCarron, of course, tonight. Sunday Detch has spent a fair bit of time on 2 fouls on the bench. Here's the head coach, CJ Bruton.
We need to do a better to close out this quarter. They're going 2 for 1. So Steinel's the player, 2 for 1, right? You're on Steinel. If he's in the corner, remember top block. We're top blocking out of the corner, sending him back door. If your man's in a DHO, as he gets inside the 3, you absorb that weak side. It's probably the hammer on the backside too. So if there's a hammer screen, pay attention. Hey, watch what's going on. If there's a hammer screen, you got to get over that. On the other end, hey, wide touch, space the floor, get into a shake set. Here we go.
6, 7, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Love that from CJ Bruton. Got to demand the focus of your players in that huddle as he's trying to run through what Tassie might be looking for. And just to break some of that down for you, he says top block, he wants the defender to sit on the high side of the guy he's guarding. Don't let him run off the screen. When he says DHO, he's talking about dribble handoffs. And when he talks about the hammer screen, he's saying on the weak side, don't get too focused about what's happening with the ball. Be careful for a little back screen for a shooter in the weak side corner.
A nice little angle there during the timeout. And another camera of Dusty Hannah's just might be a nice little bit of court burn from that fall. Take a bit of skin off underneath the tights. Either that or he might have had something previously and just fell straight on it, which is never nice when you seem to find the exact same spot.
Daniel Johnson makes the back end. 2 for 1 is what CJ Bruton expected here from Tassie. The Jet. Kenyon. Adams glances at the clock. Had a good first half. Kicks it out. Kenyon hit one early and does the exact same thing. Nothing but net. Won't be a great deal of difference between the shot and game clock. Only about 2.5 seconds, but that lead is 6.
Good pass from Josh Adams. Playing off 2 feet. A little bit of penetration. The defense collapses. Finds the open shooter.
Withers. Again looking inside. Hannah's going to test that knee out. Gets deep, too deep. Can't finish it. And again, crashing of the offensive glass. This time draws the foul. Daniel Johnson.
We keep talking about the rebounding effort from the Adelaide 36ers all season. Daniel Johnson, he's averaging just 5 rebounds a game. This is a man who's led the rebounding for the season. 7 out of the last 9 seasons of Adelaide 36ers, Daniel Johnson has led the team in rebounds, and currently he's 5th. And that's why Mitch McCarron, another excellent. Cam Besto gets on the boards hard. Todd Withers, another one who can get some rebounds. Now Kai Soto into the team. He's averaging just under 6 rebounds. So it's a big team effort.
As Daniel Johnson gives up the cheeseburger right on half-time. That nearly fell for a perfect little daily double, but there you go, free Hungry Jack's cheeseburger for everyone in a beautiful state of Tasmania. Mate is the code word. Daniel Johnson gives it up, and it leads to a 6-point Adelaide lead.
Well, good quarter from Tassie, to be honest. Adelaide got out. They were out by 9 at quarter time, but the Jack Jumpers got going offensively in that second quarter. Josh Adams is now in double figures. Will Magnay has 8, Josh Majette has 8, and they put 26 points on the board in that second term.
Daniel Johnson, huge part of the Adelaide lead. He is courtside right now with Anthony Stewart.
Yeah, great first half, DJ. Obviously, an undermanned Adelaide without Mitch and Humphreys here. You and Dusty in particular have stepped up.
Yeah, I mean, offensively we're doing all right. We're ticking the scoreboard over. Defensively, yeah, we're not really offensive rebounding, boxing out. Turnovers are killing us right now, so we got to look after that.
Yeah, I spoke to Jamie Perlman, your assistant coach, before the game. He said turnovers are going to be the key. You really look to be going inside a lot and trying to go against their undersized Jack Jumpers. Yeah. How do you feel the second half's going to play out?
Yeah, probably similar. You know, they're undersized at the 4 especially, so just got to keep our head up, make sure we're executing passes. We've been working on that all week, so we can do it in the second half.
All the best in the second half, DJ.
There we go, Daniel Johnson, 10 points, couple of boards, 3 assists, and a big reason, as he always is with Adelaide, as to why they have a half-time lead. It's the 36ers 47, the Jack Jumpers 41. Second half, not too far away. Hungry Jacks NBL halftime highlights. It is a 6-point lead for the 36ers, and Magnay gets above the rim. He's fun to watch. The Jets had a nice night, but this man was hot early. Dusty Hannes, this is how he started the night. He was aggressive. He's been feeling himself, and then he just went to Kmart and said, "Nah, I'll just take it from here." And he goes nothing but twine. Josh Adams was able to find the big man who just continues to run. He's athletic. And Daniel Johnson just up to Kai Soto. Liam Santamaria, Pete Hawley. It's been fun to watch in this first half.
Well, it has. Adelaide, they got up by 12 at one point, but the JackJumpers hung tough. Clawed their way back in that second quarter, winning that second term. And they just haven't been able to handle Adelaide's work on the interior. 34 points in the paint for the 36ers. Daniel Johnson and Cam Bairstow killing them in there. Dusty Hannes, game-leading scorer with 13. He was terrific, especially in that first quarter where he had 11. And Adams knocking down a couple of jimmies, getting to the free throw line. Josh Magette playing well as well, as is Will Magnay. You can see there for Adelaide, 1 of 8 from three-point territory, but a whole bunch of work done around the rim. 10 of 14 from the free throw line. That's nice as well. If they tidy it up, 10 turnovers, that's too many in the first half, they would have a bigger double-digit lead.
6-point lead for Adelaide. Pete Hawley off air prior to us getting onto air before this game started. You were really confident that Dusty Hannes, who only played 14 minutes and had 4 shots last game, was going to have a really nice night. And so far, you've been proven correct.
Well, I have, just because obviously he's going to have the ball in his hand. Well, he kind of have no choice. He has to come out and do this with Mitch McCarron, the playmaker, out. But also, they're coming up against a team that hasn't been too strong defensively. He's had success in the past with it. So he came out here, started feeling good, getting on the rim, trying to attack, and that's what he has to do. And this could be the silver lining when you kind of you're missing those key pieces. That this could be the game that turns around Dusty Hannes' season, because we know he struggled and he came in here. We know the records he holds. He's a great shooter. Hasn't shown that consistently at all to start the season. There's his SodaStream shot chart. 1 of 3 from outside, and surprised he hasn't taken a few more, to be honest. But I love that he hasn't settled. I love that he's trying to attack, get to the rim. He's got a couple of free throws here or there, trying to make some plays. But I'm expecting a bigger second half from him as well.
I like the fact in that second quarter he didn't blaze away. You know, 11-point first quarter, and you said he was feeling pretty good, but they continue to find where they had the advantage, the 36ers, which was on the interior for the most part. So really good first half for Dusty Hannes.
Anthony Stewart told us in the first quarter he spoke to Scott Roth and he wants 55 points at a high clip out of his imports. Now, so far they're a little short of that, but Josh Adams, when he's at his aggressive best, and I think we did see it earlier in the year on New Year's Day against Melbourne, when he's getting to the foul line, when he's feeling himself, and we're seeing more of that tonight.
Yeah, and the game prior against New Zealand as well, getting to the free throw line, and tonight he's had a good balance. Yes, still quite a lot of long twos and the pull-ups. That's where he likes to operate, but this is where he's at his best, in transition, at the rim, trying to put it on the deck and draw contact. Need more of that from him in this third quarter.
Well, they've got 20 of the 55 that Scott Roth wants, and he also said at a good clip. And as you mentioned, Josh Adams just takes a couple of those long twos that are contested. The one from the baseline out of bounds, 14 seconds on the shot clock. And he's just got to realise that's not going to help him break out of his little funk, because that's a shot Clint Steindl can take any time he wants. That's what Clint Steindl does. When he settles down, when he tries to attack, when he gets those open 3 balls like he got at the top of the key, good things can happen for Josh Adams and the JackJumpers.
You boys were split on your predictions pre-game. Have you changed?
No, I think Adelaide will hold on.
No, I won't be one of those guys that changes. I'll stay with it. Tassie will fight back.
All right, 6-point lead for the 36ers. Second half coming up on the other side of this. Before we get to it, though, have a listen to this, boys. You too can play like a pro. All thanks to Bunnings Warehouse, who are giving you the chance to win your very own court at home. It is simple. You enter right now, win.nbl.com.au/Bunnings. Check this out.
I was out there every day, so I think if I had a full court, you wouldn't get me inside.
Most of the games I played on the lower hoop, just to show my supreme athleticism.
I only worked on shooting, which is why that's really all I can do.
When you're 8 years old or 10 years old, it's the best thing in the world.
I had a basketball hoop and a little trampoline. I used to play back there for hours with my brother and get beat up a lot, but it was a lot of fun in the meantime.
I hope that one day when I grow up, I'll be able to give my kids a court at home as well.
That's where I lost a lot of games to my brother at.
It started at this height, and every year I got older, it moved higher and higher until I got to 10 foot, and I'm doing the same with my kids back at home.
My dad built one, so I had a little bit of like a half court going on, and that made my life the best, so I could never complain as a kid.
And that was kind of like our sanctuary, our getaway from everything.
Welcome back. Hungry Jacks NBL Friday night, 6-point lead for the 36ers. Half-time, nearly done and dusted, but Cam Bairstow's having a really nice night. That man, he a little shook up after a Jared Weeks hit. But he's had a great start, 9 points, 8 rebounds. Hard to believe for a guy, Liam Santamaria, that was barely on a roster as the season rapidly approached.
Oh, having a terrific season. Yeah, he's just a point and a couple of boards away from a double-double. And Will Magnay, other side of the coin, 8 points in that first half. 4 or 5 from the field. Could do with some more touches. Find him as that roll man. Drop it in every time you get a switch and get a look at him. Sunday Detch back out there as well to start this second half with those 3 fouls.
Well, here it is, straight off the tip. Well, it's the restart of the second half. Great play called. We've seen that before.
Well,
and Josh Adams got up this time, laid it in.
Well, we have, Cam, and there's no doubt that was spoke about at some point at halftime when we talk about starting this third quarter. Okay, Tasmania had the ball. They run this play a lot. This play is something they do so often, and they get caught up on the screens. Josh Adams, the pass wasn't as good as we've seen from the past from a Jet. 2 points, all the same.
Jet with 4 assists. Here he is. It just opened up in the end, and the little left-hand layup just rattled out. Magnay couldn't tip it home, and it's Bairstow with another rebound. And the 36ers through Dusty Hannes. Try and make it pay. Now it's Bairstow. There's the double team. Well done by Adams to poke it free, and he just pulls up. He's feeling it. This joint's going nuts. That lead, which was 12, is all the way down to 1.
Well, he's got 17 now. Josh Adams, 5 quick points to start this second half, and 3 steals, 3 assists, a couple of boards. Dropped him in the duds after his game last week, 2 of 14, and geez, hasn't he responded thus far tonight?
This is going to be a game that Josh Adams looks at and realises once he gets a couple of easy ones, whether it's attacking the hoop, getting foul, going to the free throw line, or a nice open one, he can make these tough shots. That's why he takes the step backs, because when he starts feeling good, he knocks him down. He's just got to get going at the start of games. He can't just keep forcing things, because things start opening up a bit like this. One comes off. But interesting to start this one. Kyle McIntosh gets a three-quarter time start because Jack McVeigh has 3 fouls. 0 of 2 from the field. Played 11 minutes against the Phoenix. Didn't have a field goal attempt, Jack McVeigh, in that game.
Turnover number 13 for the 36ers. That last bucket might have been a 2. Might have had the shoelace on the 3-point line. So it's a 2-point lead for the 36ers, who have coughed it up again. Here's McIntosh, guarded by Bairstow. 2 strong men going at it. Bairstow wins this battle. And the 36ers scoreless in the first 2+ minutes of this third quarter. Can Johnson change that? No, he can't. Adams guarded by Withers and outshook himself.
A little bit of frustration from Todd Withers down the other end. Couldn't get the ball, had the mismatch. Had Josh Majette, the point guard, on his back, and was looked off in the block, and shoulders slumped. Not happy about that. 2 points off 2 shots. Just feeling a little dejected he didn't get that rock.
CJ Bruton wants to talk about it as well. 13 turnovers on the night for the 36ers. You've spoken about it, Liam. They give you opportunities by coughing it up, and tonight has been no exception as the JackJumpers scored the last 7 points. Josh Adams has 16. We're going to hear from Scott Roth right now.
Good start. Stops, convert. Keep attacking. Stay square in the ball. I need you sprinting up and down the floor into these screens. I can't have you lagging ass. We're going to come down. J.A.'s over the top. We're going to swing it to you. You're going to punch it to Will. Jet's coming underneath, and you're coming on the flare, and then you're going back downhill. All right? J.A.'s over the top. You're just swinging it to Mikhail. Get below him. Mikhail's coming over the top of you. If you don't have it, you got him on the hand back. Together, 1, 2, 3, together. Get a stop.
Sounds like they're going to try and run a little action for Mikhail McIntosh. At his best when he's playing a little bully ball, getting downhill with his dribble drive. And that's what it seemed like from that play call. They're going to get him involved and try to get him going. 2 points, 0 of 3 from the field.
2-point lead for the 36ers. Scoreless in his third quarter so far. Had a 12-point lead in the second quarter. Bad pass from Johnson. It's a turnover number 14. It is. But then it's McIntosh. He'll get done for a illegal pick. Puts Withers into the first row. Into Cal Bruton's lap.
I'll tell you what, Liam, you mentioned it before. So have another look at this. Josh Adams gets the steal, and that's
obvious.
Off the ball. Little shepherd there.
He didn't have to do it.
He really didn't. He wasn't going to get back in front, but CJ Bruton called that timeout. Probably largely based off the response we saw from Todd Withers not getting the ball. Drew it up for him. And the Jack Jumpers probably a little bit aware of it as well, but he's got the ball now.
Hannah's. He's dead as the shot clock runs out. Couldn't get it up. Great D by the Jack Jumpers. Turnover number 15 for the 36ers, Liam. It is a recurring, ongoing issue for this team.
Well, it is. And on the flip side for the Jack Jumpers, this is how they stay competitive in games. They churn things up defensively. They frustrate you into turnovers or empty possessions. Adelaide have not scored since half-time.
McIntosh. Scott Roth wants more from him. Unfortunately, just a little extra step on the spin, and that's a turnover for the Jack Jumpers. And what has been a pretty lackluster, ugly start to this quarter. Jack Jumpers with the last 7, and they have it back to 2. But a turnover there. Right back at it. Lazy pass from Johnson. Adams will reset through Majet. Can they take the lead? They can't. That's going to be a foul on Magnay.
Easy foul call there, Will Magnay. Good box out from Kai Soto. CJ Bruton getting a few subs in here. He doesn't like what he sees at all.
Nor should he.
The unforced errors, the defense overall, I mean, seeing him screaming, just saying stay in front. And the last 3 games, the Adelaide 36ers, the teams they've played have been the highest, that's 3 highest assist games on the year. And a lot of that comes down to their defense of, if a player gets beat, they're making the easy dump-off pass, and it's either a wide-open shot or a layup.
Due for my one of those players just subbed in by CJ Bruton. 3.5 minutes into this third quarter, still no score for the 36ers. The shot clock gets into single figures. Harris, a long way from where he does his best work. They just had a 24-second shot clock violation. Harris has to force it up, never looked like it. They run their own rebound down, they get another opportunity. Majet takes it from Soto for the lead. Short, Magnay, and again the Jack Jumpers just out hustling, out energizing. They're just out wanting right now the 36ers. As Adams backs it up, wants to take Harris on one-on-one. Shot clock's down to 3. It's tough, but the mood, he is in. He made it look easy, and we're all tied up at 47.
We are. And Adelaide still haven't scored. Really interesting lineup CJ Bruton's gone to. I'd be surprised if we've seen this lineup at any time so far this season. As they get sent away there. Duffelmeyer, Harris, Hannahs, Withers, and Soto all on the floor together. Hannahs, that's a much-needed bucket for Adelaide.
11 in the first quarter for Dusty Hannahs, now up to 15. Restores that lead for the 36ers. Majet guarded by Harris. A lackluster offensive possession. Kenyon, who was trying to find Magnay.
Well, he's just trying to throw it to a spot there, but Will Magnay had the seal. He had Kai Soto behind him. He's got to roll the ball into him. Let him use his body to go to work. And I tell you what, the Adelaide 36ers, if all their points are going to come from a tough shot like that, they're in for a tough last few minutes here. Josh Adams sits down. He's played very well. 18 points, 7 of 14 from the field, 3 of 6 from the line. Just a couple points out there. He's got 4 steals. getting active on defense.
Dufamai pulls up, 12-footer, got it. 4 straight from the 36ers, that is the lead. And it's not how, it's how many right now, as both these teams need that W. Dufamai on the grab. He's got 4. CJ Bruton leave him out there as he looks around. He looks around. And he stays. If you look at the foul trouble, Sunday Dech had 3 in that first half. Had to sit for a considerable amount of time. Majette turned down the 3, wanted to be a bit more aggressive off the dribble, but now he's got a little bit of work to do. The shot clock at 3. And the referee says you left both your feet off the ground. He disagrees.
What?
Well, he kind of praised his decision-making in the first half, but that first one, he's got to let that fly. 12-3 tonight, but those open ones, they're the ones you really have to take and make. And you mentioned Sunday Dech with the 3 fouls. And this is a man averaging 14 points since coming back from injury and was shooting the 3 ball. He's 10 of 18. It's 12-3 tonight. So we'll push that out a little bit.
Hannah's into a double, into a triple team, still got it on the rim. Chased it down. It's going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow. Looks like it'll stay with Adelaide. Both teams struggling. You mentioned Majette being zipper 3. Both teams struggling from the 3-point line tonight. 4 of 19 for the JackJumpers, 1 of 11 for Adelaide. The only man to hit the 3 for Adelaide. Now, it was risky considering it was off of Hannah's foot, but the JackJumpers just caused turnover number 17 for the 36ers. And they give themselves another opportunity. McVeigh. McDaniel keeps it alive. Steindl takes a little bump from Harris. That'll count. And one. CJ Bruton not happy. He pleads his case. Referee says calm down. It's going to count. And Clint Steindl can have a chance at a 3-point play.
Yep. Hang on, I've just got these guys in here.
Well, it's a big play from Steindl. CJ Bruton's not happy with the whistle. Here you see the attack. Harris tried to just straighten up and body up. But Clint Steindl got the whistle, and geez, there's a lot for Adelaide to sort out. You shoot 1 for 11 from 3, and you've thrown the ball away 17 times. Amazing that you're in front, such as their dominance around the rim through guys like Johnson and Bairstow. Dusty Hannah's shot making, and CJ Bruton's decided to challenge that call. Timeout, coach's challenge in play. We get another look at this Hiram Harris foul.
Not sure we've seen coach challenge this year to try and save 1 point potentially. But he was very confident. You could see him barking the instructions saying he's not allowed to be vertical. Harris doesn't do a whole lot wrong.
We need to see the baseline view. Well, that'll be the main one in the replay center as they check out this challenge, because that'll be the big one. Because even, you're right, he's trying to save the 1 point, Pete. The issue is, if he's even a millimetre pushing forward, it's going to be a foul.
I think he has a very chance to win that.
Let's have a look. There wasn't much in it.
There was hardly any contact.
Once it's been called, though, it's very hard to take it away in that situation.
I feel like they've shown a willingness if there's not much contact. Certainly if they feel the defense is flopping, that's not what Hiram Harris
at all
was doing there, but I reckon he's a good chance to win that, CJ Bruton.
He was the last coach left in the league to be 100% until last round.
Coach's challenge is successful.
There we go.
There's no foul on the play. The call is reversed.
Great call, Liam.
Counts.
Great call,
Adelaide
Liam Santa
ball
Maria, and
from
CJ
the
Bruton did his part as well.
Adelaide lose a timeout. Yes.
Clint Steindl a bit unsure what's going on. He's saying I should be shooting.
The bucket counts. Adelaide take it out of bounds. 2-point game.
Here's Detch. Hannahs. Back to Detch. Shot clock now into single figures. He's got to go to work on Jared Weeks.
Back to square.
In the end, had to do it all himself, and he did exactly that. Kisses it with the left hand. He over-dribbled, in the words of an ex-Adelaide 36ers coach, but he got the result done.
Well, Connor Henry would have some things to say about that play. Didn't have a lot going, but just stuck with it. Hands were on for Jared Weeks. The officials let him get away with it a couple of times, but not on the shooting action. And one finish there from Sunday Detch, his first points for the game.
In, out. The lead stays at 4 as we tick under 3 minutes to go, third quarter. They played a close line as McVeigh steps out for 3, leaves a little short. Bairstow with the rebound. Rebound number 11 for Bairstow. They played a close one last time they were here a couple of months ago. And we're seeing it again. There's a double team. Ball somehow springs free, and it ends up in the hands of Dusty Hannahs, who sealed the game from a similar spot last time. Still a long way to play out here, but he's felt it tonight, Pete Hawley.
Well, he has. Just a little catch and shoot. And then, as you said, Liam, this is the way the JackJumpers play on defense. They're turning the pressure up. They're just throwing random double teams over the half court, trying to force some more turnovers because they've seen that the 36ers will cough it up. Dusty Hannahs, a bit off balance, doesn't matter. See right here, good kick out from Mojave King. Dusty Hannahs lets it fly. It's his second 3-ball on the night.
Well, this is how things are with the JackJumpers defense. Yes, they lead the league in steals. They also give up a high percentage on their opponent's field goal attempts. So if you can get your way through that pressure, not turn it over, you can find open guys for good looks. And that's been the challenge for every team playing the JackJumpers, and certainly for Adelaide tonight. Coughed it up 17 times, but shooting 54% from the field. Just got to handle that pressure.
Anthony Stewart's courtside. Stewie, what do you got for us?
Yeah, I just listened in on to CJ, and he's just pleading with these guys to look after the ball. The other question I've got is Dusty's he's just got to be more aggressive offensively. I just feel like he's turned down a couple of looks. He's shooting the ball well. He's just got to let it ride.
It's a good point when you're feeling it like he is. Mojave King, all air.
Well, it's the fine line for Dusty Hannahs. So he's got the 18 points of not trying to do too much where he gets the 20+ on a bad efficiency and he's forcing a lot, but also realising they kind of need him to be able to do this. And he's feeling good now, so he's deserved to be able to take a couple potentially ill-advised shots. But a lot of it's going to be above the shoulders for him, trying to get in that mental state to be able to continue to do this. And Bairstow, another block. That's his third block on the night.
9 points, 12 boards, 3 blocks for Bairstow. Dusty Hannahs tries to split the double team.
And Bairstow, I mean, let's have a look at it here. Look at the timing. Weeks, he tries to use his body to push him out. And Bairstow, 9 points, 12 rebounds, 3 blocks. And
let's go.
Unfortunately, I think he's just dropped out of my 6th man of the year conversation. You know why?
Yeah.
Because he's going to lose eligibility. Because he's playing that well. And obviously, Isaac Humphries is out, so he's going to potentially lose that eligibility. But no doubt, most improved player. He's just been outstanding. I'm going to take a well-earned breather here.
He's hoping Isaac Humphries comes back soon and comes back feeling good and healthy. I've heard some things recently that maybe things aren't really not good for Isaac Humphries with his knee. Hopefully that's off the mark because, geez, we enjoyed watching him play at MVP level before he went down last season.
Hannahs kept alive by Withers into the hands of Johnson. Hannahs, that's a little short. Mini heat check from Hannahs. He's having a great night. Majet wants to push. McDaniel got it. Championship player last year for Melbourne United has started. Come off the bench tonight. His first bucket of the evening gets that lead back to 4.
That'll help his confidence. He's in there for his defense, a 3-and-D type player. He was just 3 of 14 from 3.
Sodo from Mojave King. JackJumpers took a risk. In the end, gave up the uncontested dunk. Into the last minute. Leads at 6. Entertaining clash Friday night, wherever you might be around the country. Steindl. We've seen it a lot. This one off the iron. And about a 2.5 second differential. Adelaide cared little for it. Soto fouled on the ground.
Good find from Johnson underneath. Second time he's fined Soto around the rim. He'll go to the free throw line to shoot some bonus.
Nice night again for Kai Soto so far. 9 points, couple of boards. Moments of good defense as well on Will Magnay, in particular in the second quarter, as Liam Santamaria highlighted, when they build a double-digit lead. Second one long, and the JackJumpers will get an opportunity to end the quarter with momentum. Jet looked for Steindl. Takes on Withers, gets around him. Soto made him really arch it up. He had to almost kiss it off the roof of My State Bank Arena, and it rims out to end an entertaining third quarter. And we've got a good one here. Adelaide 59, JackJumpers 52. 10 minutes left. Let's find out who takes it on the other side of this. .30 minutes of playing time down. That man Josh Adams having a really nice night and giving the JackJumpers an opportunity. They trail by 5. Dusty Hanners is finding his groove as well. He's enjoying life out there, having a chat to Sam McDaniel. And it's a 5-point lead. Liam Santamaria for the visitors at My State Bank Arena.
Well, it was a low-scoring third quarter, 12-11, but we've got a close game. 5-point game heading into this final term. Big game for both teams.
McVeigh. Detch almost had it.
Jack McVeigh just cannot buy a three. And this is a guy last year we were talking about was on a 50-40-90 watch. 50% from the field, 40% from 3, 90% from the free throw line. He's 0-4 tonight from 3. That's his field goal attempts, and he hasn't hit the scoreboard.
As Withers just bullets his way there. Well, will now be 2 shots. McVeigh not the only one Bulls, who struggled tonight, 5 of 23 from the three-point line of the JackJumpers.
We're talking about the importance of just dealing with the Tassie pressure. This is late in that third quarter. Look, if you get through the double team and you don't turn it over, this is what you can get on the backside of that defense. That's why CJ Bruton, as Stewie reported in that timeout, is saying just look after the ball, fellas. Handle the pressure. We'll get good shots. We'll be able to close out this game. That's a huge key in this fourth quarter.
Nails the second. Pete Hawley with myself, Cam Luke, and maybe the #1 motivator in the league right now, Liam Santamaria, studs and duds. It's kind of a random, unique timing this NBL season with so many games consecutively, but two men who were in the duds only a couple of days ago. Dusty Hannahs and Josh Adams both have 18 points tonight, Liam, so congratulations on your new title of motivating these guys to will their team to have an opportunity to win.
No, well, they both needed to bounce back. You know, coming off poor performances, and Hannahs all of a sudden coming off the bench, not having a huge impact, but really nice nights from them so far tonight. But that's just 3 quarters. Got to close it out. Both of those guys are going to be big in this fourth term.
Wouldn't be nice in the duds because there's no real graphic to see who's in it. So you just be scrolling like, oh, missed I'm good. I'm not in the first one, and I'm not in the second one, and then you see your name pop up third, and you'd be real flat for the rest of the day, I reckon.
Steindl for 3, a little bit short. Well, you made... There's a man on this court that you made a solo dud, didn't you, a couple of weeks ago?
Josh Majed, he's having a nice night as well.
He is.
Not a huge scoring night.
Just talk about singling a man out when he's down.
6 points, 6 assists. He also got 5 steals. Has just crept under the radar a little bit. Both those imports getting after it with their hands. Nice little pass from Withers, but Besto misses a bunny.
The only blemish on a nice night for Cam Besto so far. McDaniel hit one from here only moments ago. He's done it again.
Well, that'll help his confidence, as we said. Whatever reason, came off the bench tonight. Matt Kenyon came in with energy and knocked down a couple of threes of his own. And McDaniel, 2 of 2 from long range.
Hannahs. Stetch, shot clock at 5. He's going to have to get to work, dribble it off his foot. Great hustle and desperation by the JackJumpers. It's going to be a jump ball.
That's really good hustle from Will Magnay. There you see the loose ball, and he just doesn't even think about it. DJ's bending over. Magnay's on the deck. And
now, it looks like it's going to be an Adelaide ball, but the shot clock is on the verge of expiring. So they're going to have to be quick to get one up here.
0.9, you see there. Enough time for a catch and shoot.
Shot clock confirmed, 0.9.
Withers will inbound. Soto win.
Hey, 0.9.
Maybe looking for it. That's it. Over the top from Soto.
Withers looking. That's exactly what he's trying to do.
Well, he's going to get it back again. It looked like it might have come off Magnay's hands, but...
Might have been a shot clock violation. Either way, it's a turnover for Adelaide, which again, it's been ugly. 19 on the night. Pass wasn't all that bad if Soto had it headed towards it.
It was the right idea. Well, either that or to see the defender jumping up and down, just throw it at his foot. Get the extra 14 straight out of bounds.
We credited McDaniel for that knockdown 3. It was a beautiful setup from Josh Majed.
We'll reset it back.
He's giving himself a wipe down there. It's his 7th assist. Had 9 assists last game, 2nd in the league in assists. Josh Majed. I like the fact he's got back to trying to be a facilitator, trusting his teammates. Didn't force that up at the rim last possession. Found the open man in Sam McDaniel, and he knocked it in.
5-point lead. Here is Majed. Kenyon in, McDaniel's taking a seat. Can they get it closer? They can. Majed, mid-range working. Knocks it down. 17-footer, the lead is 3. And the nest is starting to get louder. Hannahs, little stutter step in the end, floater. Oh my. That's a good question. Well, did it go in or did Soto
100%.
get a hand?
No, that was a perfect floater from Dusty Hannes, I thought. Soto's been credited for the points as of right now.
It did look like there's Majet for 3. Nothing but net. There's no controversy on that one. It's back to 2.
Well, that's going to foul Duffelmeyer out of the game. Here's Soto. Wasn't a pass to you, big fella, but go and get it. Tucks it in with the left hand. JackJumpers thought that shouldn't have counted. Officials fouled otherwise. Down the other end, Duffelmeyer's fouled out of the game.
Turnover number 20. And now a chance for the JackJumpers to tie it up or even take the lead.
Remember, of course, no Mitch McCarron in this one. That's the backup point guard fouled out. Sunday Detch. Dusty Hannes have to carry the ball handling duties the rest of the way. Hannes still on 18 as he was at three-quarter time.
McIntosh. Here's Majet, started this quarter hot. Continues it, and the JackJumpers have the lead.
Oh, he's rolling. Josh Majet get into his spots. That's 8 quick points from him after that assist to Sam McDaniel. He's feeling it.
14 points, 7 assists. JJ's lead. Hannes to silence the crowd does exactly that as Dusty Hannes' big night continues.
That's tough from Dusty Hannes. Scott Roth getting the nest up and about. Good defensive pressure, and again, when they went on the dry spell in the start of the third quarter, they needed some Dusty Hannes magic just to tick the scoreboard over.
Majet. Adams. Into the hands of Soto. Will that be an offensive foul? I think it might be. Elbow right to the nostril of Will Magnay.
Can I just get a review on that?
Well, he's trying to do the right thing, Kai Soto. Here's Majet coming off to his left hand, gets a little space, knocks it in. And then very similar next time down, gets a similar look, knocks it in, and then Soto on that rebound. Try and do the right thing, protect the ball. That's what you're taught as a young fellow. You grab it, swing those arms, keep the defense away. But
the
initial call was that he got hit Will Magnay in the face with the elbow.
Are they checking for an upgrade?
Did he make contact? It was quick.
Well, if
I'll
he
slow
did
it right there.
Oh,
he
he
did
made contact. Definitely made contact. Sure. That's a good hit from Will Magnay.
Big, solid contact.
That's a good hit.
But you got the last one right, Liam. Do you think this will be upgraded?
I think it will, yeah. Again, he's trying to do the right thing, Soto, and protect the ball, but you elbow a guy in the head like that, even if you didn't, it wasn't intentional per se, you are swinging your bows around. That would usually be an unsportsmanlike foul.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
All the momentum with Tassie.
Normal foul.
Okay.
Wide 11.
Okay.
It's an offensive foul still. I was with you, Liam.
I was with you too, to be honest. There we go.
I guess the lack of intent must have played in the
Take a charge. Hands off.
in the hand for Soto. Either way, the JackJumpers have the no, they trail by 1 with a chance to take the lead. McIntosh. Magnay picked himself up off the floorboard and gets a rebound. And another opportunity for the JackJumpers. Adams to the bucket. Couldn't finish with the left. He's got a couple of freebies on the way from 15 feet.
Great take from Josh Adams. This is what we're talking about. He's explosive, and he has the athleticism at the rim to be able to get up and, you know, establish some contact with his body on the shot blocker. He's frustrated he didn't finish over the front of the rim, but I like that attack, putting heat on the bucket.
It was a close one last time these two teams met earlier in NBL22. There was some Dusty Hannes magic late that got the 36ers their first win of the year. And we are set for a similar ending here as the JackJumpers reclaim the lead. Josh Adams, big night. He's got 20. It's a 1-point lead. Scott Roth wants to talk about it, but right now, Pete Hula, they have all the momentum.
Well, they do, and this is what we spoke about all season. When they slow down and get through the sets on the offensive end and patience, they get good things happening. And again, it's going to come from their defense, their energy, they lift it. They've got guys who can make highlight plays to get the crowd up and about. And they've got Josh Adams who can get the alley-oops. They've got Will Magnay to those plays. But that's not what's going to keep the fans going crazy when you need them most. It's going to be that defensive pressure. Get up and about, get in, try and force some turnovers, and then the highlight plays come after that. That's what they've done. They've ramped it up. Josh Majet's got rolling. Josh Adams has 20 points in 21 minutes, so very impressive outing for him. Not in foul trouble. He's got 4 steals, 4 assists. Just hasn't played too much at all.
1-point lead on what has been a wonderful Friday night of hoops. At times a little slow on the scoring output, but we are set for a huge contest. 1-point lead for the JackJumpers, 65-64, and I think you can shoot a full court shot on an NBL game. Pressure would be on, but if you want to get involved, you should, because you head to the NBL website win page to enter for your chance to win 100K. It's well and truly worth it, all thanks to the Latrobe Financial Sharp Shot. And don't worry if you miss, Liam, first shot, you get a second go from half court for 50K.
Well, that's good news, because I'm guaranteed to miss the full court effort. Oh, with that attitude? Oh, definitely with that attitude.
Well, CJ Bruton's first ever shot in NBL was a full quarter, wasn't it?
Nearly, yeah.
3 quarters,
yeah.
Close enough to it.
The Wildcats.
Bad pass by Dedge, and McIntosh read it like a cheap book. Majet is hot. And now he's got 10 seconds on the shot clock to size up Sunday Dedge and decide what he wants to do. He's hit 2 from here, this time turns it down. McIntosh gets a nice little look from about 10 foot, knocks it down. The lead is 3, exactly halfway through this fourth quarter.
Well, halfway through the fourth quarter. In the last 4 games, JackJumpers have averaged just 10 points in each of the fourth quarters they've played. 13 of 64 field goals. You see it right there. They've already got 13 in the first 5 minutes of this quarter. So they're playing much better. Josh Majet doing a lot of the attacking and creating. They just got to keep doing it right now, because Dusty Hannahs, he won't lay down.
He was the hero last time. He's had a huge night, 22. Majet the other end, that one a little short. Cambesto rebound number 14. Dedge and Daniel Johnson, little 2-man game. Here is Johnson. They continue it. Dedge, floater, long. Besto again, that man's everywhere. Couldn't get it to crawl over the rim, but he just wanted it more. Just fingertipped it out. It will be a JackJumper pill.
Good chip in from Matt Kenyon. After Besto got that initial ball, geez, hasn't he been a beast on the glass, Cambesto? 15 rebounds, 12 defensive, 3 offensive. Having himself a big night. 1 point off that double-double to go with a couple of dimes, a steal, and 3 blocks as well. Matt Kenyon just coming over the back there, eventually to pry that ball away from Besto. JackJumpers get it back.
Tom Withers probably stole another offensive rebound this then, and he's had a tough night. 28 minutes, 3 points on just 1 of 3 from the field, a couple of rebounds. We saw his frustration when he had to mismatch. The ball didn't go to him. But with 4 minutes left in the game, so close, and still have a big impact on the score.
Adams. Couldn't get it. That man again. Besto on rebound 16. Sunday Dedge wants to push. Little semi-transition. Will Magnay says no. He relay coach for 3. He says, have you two, Magnay? I'll take a triple and take back the lead.
And Todd Withers chased down that loose ball. Strong enough to hold on to it, and then found Sunday Dedge in the corner. JackJumpers, they've gone dry offensively. Majet and Adams jumpers, they haven't been falling.
Kenyon has 2 of these. McIntosh, big offensive rebound and a reset for the JackJumpers. Adams. McIntosh started the possession. but they'll get another one through Majet. This time Kenyon. McIntosh. The JJs again keep it alive. Nearing a minute of game time here with the ball. Adams. They deserved it. They got it. We're tied at 69.
They got it on their hardest look. Everything else was wide open, and 36ers just couldn't come up with the rebound. You look at their rebounding numbers. They're now rebounding the JackJumpers by 11. 16 rebounds to Cam Bairstow, and the next closest is 4. A couple of guys with 4. Another turnover as well.
All tied up. 2:20 to go. NBL22 is going next level. Both these teams so desperate to get a W and start to build some momentum in what has been, at times, a start-stop year for everyone. But a Friday night. And we spoke about a little bit of scoring drought at different times for the JackJumpers. Well, tonight, Liam Santamaria, when they needed someone to stand up, it was Josh Adams. His aggressive attitude at times was able to continue to click over the scoreboard.
Well, he's got an equal game high, 22, Josh Adams, and he's had a pretty good balance. You know, we know he likes to shoot the pull-up jumpers from mid-range. They're important for him. A bit of this as well in transition, athletic finishes ahead of the pack. And of course, they run some action for him. He's a lob threat in those situations. But he's had a nice night. I've loved his activity. You know, these are all highlights of his scoring because he's put 22 on the board at a reasonably good clip, 8 of 17 from the field. I like the fact he's got to the free throw line, 8 free throw attempts. That's nice, but also 4 assists and 4 steals as well. Both he and Majet have had well-rounded performances tonight. That's what Scott Roth and the JackJumpers needed, but can they close it out? All tied up. That's some kind of score line. 2 minutes and change to play. Can they finish the job?
Big couple of minutes. A packed out loud My State Bank Arena, urging on their JackJumpers to get another win in front of them. Here's Majet. Here is this man, Adams. Got Withers in the air, got himself plenty of clear space, couldn't hit it, but again, another opportunity, this time supplied by Will Magnay. Majet, floater, left-hander, can't finish it, gets his own rebound, but was 2 under the backboard, but again, Adams finished it last time they got chances. What a pass! That'll count! Little double clutch by Matt Kenyon, who got the start tonight and has stood up in crucial moments.
Offensive rebounds in key moments for the JackJumpers. So much frustration for CJ Bruton, and it ends again in a bucket close to the rim. We spoke earlier about how good the 36ers have been on the glass over the course of the year. More so on the offensive end. Defensive rebounding in a key moment here, letting them down.
Well, both teams. Adelaide 36ers have 13 O-boards on their own. The JackJumpers, 18 offensive rebounds.
Johnson, stopped by Magnay. 3 blocks for the big fella. Dench in a collision. And that will be just as Ted do for my excellent of the game last 4 or 5 minutes ago. Sunday Dench will pick up his 5th personal foul and have to head to the bench.
Well, that's their 2 primary ball handlers. No Mitch McCarron, fouled out of the game. A minute 20 to play. Where does CJ go here? He's going to call on Hiram Harris.
Here we go, guys. Line it up.
So Dusty Hanners will be the man who needs to handle the rock, get them in some offensive sets.
Well, they're big. Now, Withers, Harris, Bairstow, Johnson.
Mojave King was the other option. And CJ Bruton didn't go in that direction.
4-point lead. Tick up the 90 seconds left. Josh Adams' big night continues. They trailed by 12 in the second quarter. They've hung around, they've chipped away, and their big players have stood up in Adams and Majette at one end and Magnay at the other. That has them a 4-point lead with a chance to make it 5. $23, 4 and 5 for this man. Make that 24, the lead is 5. No fourth quarter issues tonight for the JackJumpers. Last 7 points, all for Tasmania. Hannah's guarded by Kenyon. He was the star and the hero late last time. Has Adams on a switch, has to force it, does exactly that. A little bit short. Long rebound run down by Johnson. Passes inside, Besto. There's that double-double. Feels he got hit, doesn't matter now. The lead is back to 3. Great pass, Johnson. Finished by Besto. What a night he's had.
Must get a stop here, Adelaide, and can't afford to foul over the limit.
Majette. Guarded by Harris. Shot clock down to 7. McIntosh. Short. There's about a 15-second differential between the shot and game clocks. What will Adelaide do? Hannahs goes from a long way out. Long shot, long rebound. Into the hands of Withers. That one's in and out. And Magnay says, I'll just snaffle it.
They're going to have to foul
Shot
now.
clock's off.
They have to foul now. They're not to mess around.
Gotta go get him.
Well, they've got to get somebody. They've wasted about 8 seconds here.
Sooner rather than later.
What is going on?
Well, that's not a great 30 seconds there for the Adelaide 36ers. They had time to get a good look. Hannahs launches it from the Derwent.
The other side of it.
Hits the back of the rim, and then you got to reset. You've got plenty of time now to get a really good look for a knockdown shooter. Withers just lets it fly. Yes, he was open, but DJ, Hannah, you can get someone else a better look than that, and then they take forever to foul.
Not only that, as soon as Will Magnay pulls that rebound down, whoever the 36 is next to him, he's got to slap him. It's nothing that's going to warrant a look at an unsportsmanlike foul. Because in the end, it was could have been touch and go. They just let them walk the ball up the floor. It was about 22 seconds, 21 seconds when Will Magnay got the ball.
Plenty of time.
You get a foul quickly there. They miss 1 or 2. You got plenty of possessions left in this game.
Majette, 15 points, 7 assists on the evening, throwing 5 rebounds and 5 steals. Now it's hard for Adelaide. Lead is 5. CJ Bruton wants time out. He'll get it. Little frustration with CJ, but in the end, he gets it.
Double check. I thought you were going to call. Yeah, they've got to actually do the horn. Yeah, I'm trying to work with you. I'm trying to help you.
He's frustrated because he let the score bench know that he wanted a timeout if the free throw went down, but he should be more frustrated with his team. 23 turnovers, equal highest of any team this season, matching what Cairns threw against Southeast Melbourne the other night. Giving up 18 offensive rebounds, especially in crunch time. Extra possessions for the JackJumpers. And then some hero ball down the stretch, some lack of awareness to foul. JackJumpers have been terrific, but Adelaide have not done themselves any favours down the stretch here.
Well, they haven't. I mean, you look at the JackJumpers stats, 28 from 80 from the field, 35%, just 8 of 36 from 3, 22%. Giving up 15 rebounds himself, being out-rebounded by 9, but those turnovers, they're the big ones. And you're right, I mean, Dusty Hannah's had a good game. About 30 seconds left on the clock when you're down 3. Get something else. And here, CJ Bruton was calling, get Daniel Johnson into the on-ball and try and create off that. And it's one of those, you make it, well, you're a hero in the moment. You missed that, had another opportunity. That was probably the best part about it.
You spoke about Daniel Johnson pre-game and early. They went to him, they made him a focal point. He's only had 7 shots again. It's the last 8 seconds, Liam. They haven't been able to look to him. Here we go. Hands it off, Hannahs. Can't finish it. Bairstow can't finish it. In the end, the JackJumpers were down double figures, but they were able to get a big win over the Adelaide 36ers. And Scott Roth loves it. Have a look at him. Great to see the emotion from the head coach of the newest franchise. Found themselves in a hole, dug themselves out of it, and get a big win. Brilliant to see. He really loving it.
Yes! How good's this? This is real. This is, if you know the bowling clip of who do you think you are? I am.
Yes.
That's big vibes there from Scott Roth.
He spoke over the course of the early parts of the season, speaking about the emotion attached to this and everything when it comes to restrictions and quarantine and being away from the family. And it's on show again there. A man who loves basketball, has done it at the highest level right across the country and is doing it in the NBL with the newest team in it. And that is awesome to see, Liam Santa Maria.
That is big Tassie energy on display right there. Josh Adams, the Footlocker player of the game, 24 points. 4 rebounds, 5 assists. Good bounce back performance from him. And look at Clint Steinel, the captain of this ball club, letting his Chargers know how big that win was. Any win's a big win when you're 2 wins from your first 8 games. And they took care of business in front of their home fans.
They did. We'll wrap it up on the other side of this. The JackJumpers by 5 over Adelaide. What a big Friday night. Hungry Jack's NBL right around the country. Magnay above the rim. Dusty Hannahs was hot for most of the night. It's good to see Will Magnay in this type of form. Daniel Johnson, Nakai Soto, the big boys getting above the rim and throwing it down. But this man, Josh Adams, was our Footlocker player of the game. And they were able to come up with the big moments, Liam Santa Maria, because when it came down to it, they found themselves in a double-digit hole in the second quarter, but they hung tough. In the end, what was a huge win, their third of the year?
That's a grinded-out win for the JackJumpers. Scott Roth said it right from the very start of the season. We're going to need to keep teams in the 70s. That's just how we're built, the deficit of talent we have compared to these other teams. So they've been tough defensively, they're gritty, and they get after it. And I tell you what, there's all kinds of passion exuding from Scott Roth after that win. He is up and about.
I thought he was going to drop the Pat Cash climb into the crowd for a split second.
I like the way he credits the crowd too. He says, you're the guys lifting us to this victory. Majet and Adams, they need those imports, putting points on the board, combining for 40. That's big. Hannah's had a terrific night, 22, but geez, that was a big decision to pull the trigger from way downtown with plenty of time remaining. And there you see, both teams struggled from long range, especially the 36ers, sub 20% from out there. And yes, they won the rebounding count, but they gave up 18 offensive boards for the JackJumpers, and they threw it away a massive 23 times.
Well, I'll tell you what, both teams had 28 field goals made, but the JackJumpers had 20 more attempts, and this score could have looked even worse. And you're right, Adelaide, this is one that got away. Again, no Mitch McCarron. We know how important he is to their success, to be able to facilitate, come up with plays, really just be a leader down the stretch. So they definitely missed that. But credit to the JackJumpers, credit Josh Adams, Josh Majet. They read studs and duds and turn things around, so that's good for them. And that's what you want to do. It's going to be tough to win when you go down to the nest. If they play with that energy, the crowd gets involved from that energy. That's what they've got to bring every night, and it's tough to bring every night.
Third win of the year for the JackJumpers. We have a look at the ladder, because you're right, it's tough to bring, but they've been able to do it. And have a look at them. There you go. Jump above Adelaide, New Zealand down there at the moment. Melbourne 8 in a row. Perth Wildcats in wonderful form. Southeast Melbourne Phoenix got the win against Tassie on Sunday as well. But there is the Amy ladder.
Well, that's the tricky thing for Adelaide. They're 3-6 now. Next up, Melbourne United, and then the Bullets. So they are in a tough spot, the 36ers.
Mitch McCarron expected back. Pete Hawley, Liam Santa Maria, Cam Luke here. It's been a pleasure for your Friday night. It's the JackJumpers by 5. We'll see you over the weekend.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Trade.
Yeah, definitely frustration. Yeah, a little disappointed in how we sort of gifted that game away, as you all know.
What changed in the second half? Was it their pressure? Did that change that stopped you being able to get the ball up the floor and execute as well as you liked, or was it their offensive rebounding? What were the big factors for you?
Well, clearly, if you look at the stat line, you know that the turnover count, that wasn't in the all in the backcourt, that was in the front court. Offensive rebounding, that gave them an extra 20 shots, which anyone that gets 20 shots, that's a pretty good lead to start with. Though we did a good job of almost 3/4 of doing the little things that got us the lead and kept us in front, so yeah.
You don't want to make excuses, but the fact that you're without Mitch, your number one ball handler, and then both Tad and Sunday fouled out late in the game, how much did that hurt not having their ball handling late?
It always hurts, like when you've got guys that can handle the ball and run your team, and when you go deeper in your bench, you ask any team. It's not. I'm not saying it's not doable, but it's definitely you would love to have those guys on the floor.
How tough is it while you're sitting there right now, knowing that you probably should have won that game but didn't? How are you feeling right now?
I feel fine. I feel like we got to prepare for another game. Like I said, I've played enough games myself, but for the guys where we're at in this part of the season, hasn't been an ideal run for us, not only on the floor but off the floor. But it's stuff that you've got to deal with and put in context. But it's about how you bounce back. And I feel like from COVID to playing the Wildcats, I thought we bounced back pretty well. And then we've had our lapses. Obviously, not having a whole lot of training under our belt showed. And the more games you play and the deeper you go in that short period of time, it's showing. So now we've got to clean up, but we also got to be mentally tough and make some better decisions along the way.
I know you keep getting asked similar questions, but how huge was the man next to you again tonight?
I'll let you. He was great, big time. I know what I'm getting every time he steps on the floor. He's been amazing.
Cam, I know playing well personally isn't going to mean much. How frustrating is it that you couldn't quite close that game?
Yeah, it's obviously frustrating when you see a game that was clearly winnable and up at halftime by 6. And I think it was the same, going into the final quarter and then just letting it get away from us due to, offensive rebounding and basically executing on offense as well. So, it's always going to be frustrating, but we've got another game in 2 days, so it'll be another opportunity to bounce back.
I'll jump in. How you doing? This is Joseph from the NBL podcast. My question is for CJ. Forget when it was. I think it was sometime in maybe the third quarter. You called a timeout. And you were struggling to get your players to pay attention. You were saying, listen. You had to say it a couple of times. And then, the team comes out, gives up rebounds, turnovers. Is this an attentive issue? And can you talk us through that timeout and why you felt you had to, really shout for discipline?
Well, I just saw that at that point that their focus for where it was at in the game, and players look away all the time, or you're either in your own feelings, thinking about where you're at. At this point in time, I just need everyone to pay attention to what I was drawing up and what I wanted to talk about, and have everyone's attention. So to know that they were all locked in, that's what I wanted.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's Fraser from AAP. Todd Withers had a bit of a quiet night. We saw some visible frustration for him. Did he feel like he was not getting looks out there or getting the ball when he should have? What did you see out there?
I thought as the game was flowing, we had a pretty good lead and a game plan. Yeah, he didn't get the shots that he wanted. Sometimes, as you know, that's how it works. But could he have done more for us? Yeah, definitely. And could he got more touches? Sure.
Dusty also carried the offense a bit there with his scoring. What did you make of his performance tonight in comparison to the season thus far?
Well, I thought he got out on the floor and he was very aggressive from the jump. I think he needs to keep finding ways to score and keep doing it within the system. But there's times where, like any great player, can put on the deck and be able to go and create plays as well, as he's done before.
Oh, sorry, a question I forgot about. CJ, Mohamed King, there's a kid who 2 years ago had a big NBA high tonight, shot an air ball, didn't get his minutes. What's the future of his development and career with you guys?
To be honest, it's just him growing every day, right? So obviously we haven't had, as I said before, we haven't had a lot of practices fitting in at this point in time. Could I have played him a little more? Definitely. It's still within the group. My job is also trying to win ball games, and yeah, I know it's frustrating for him, and I want to see him do well, as everyone does. And at different times, trying to put him in spots where he can go be successful as well and create opportunities as well. Got to keep working.
Cam, just one question for you. We saw Kai Soto get a lot of attention on the glass tonight, and he seemed to perform pretty well. Have you taken him under your wing, so to speak, and given him some insight and some tips as to how to improve his game? Because he had a pretty decent performance for you guys tonight.
Yeah, Kai's been awesome, and I think you've seen the growth every game. Had a bit of an injury coming into the season, which is obviously tough, but you know, each and every game he gets better, and he can change the game with his length and his size, and I think he's going to be a great player, and he keeps, you know, he's keen to learn, he works hard, and I think he's just going to get better and better as the season goes on.
Thank you.
Sorry, I keep forgetting to ask all my questions at once. Another one for CJ. That shot from, I don't know if anyone asked it earlier, apologies that I have. That late shot from Dusty Hannah's quarter court wasn't perhaps the highest percentage shot. What was your take on that play?
Yeah, it's not a high percentage shot, but it's Dusty Hannon's, and I've seen him shoot a few balls that far away, and seen him make quite a few of them.
So you were happy with it?
Not here to say it's it's a bad shot, but Dusty Hannon's shooting it. Like, yeah, I would have preferred a better shot than that, but he shot it. I can't go on the floor and tell him to take it back or to take this shot. This is what happens as you keep playing.
Thanks again.
You're welcome.
Everyone happy? Thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
Good tap. No, she's not with
Stephanie Parkinson.
Huh?
Stephanie. Sarah Parkinson.
Yeah.
That's the new Sarah Parkinson.
Stephanie.
Yeah. Is that the one you emailed?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll give you Parkinson. Sarah Parkinson is no longer with Gravity.
Right. No, it's Stephanie.
Well,
Yeah, I think
okay, that's the AFLW.
I think she was from Gravity. But then.
Which one was AFL? It's on Gravity.
Yeah. But it was weird because I got a text from Richard, it seems like on that same phone number.
It's good to swap all the time.
Yeah, I know. I mean, and this girl said she.
and get one. And then we can just come back in. Go in. You know. Yeah.
Right, Scott Roth and Josh and Jack up for JackJumpers. Chris, do you want to kick off again?
Yeah, sure. Scott, we saw the passion from you after the game. Can you just talk through how much that meant?
Well, you know, this is a privilege what we do, and for me, these guys have been just competing relentlessly in practices and video sessions and these games, and we haven't got a couple across the line, and they just showed a lot of relentlessness, grit, compassion for each other, and our fans were fantastic to help us get us over the line, and yeah, I love it.
There's a couple of things you wanted this team to be known for. You wanted them to be known for their fight and their spirit and their competitiveness, and they showed all of that tonight, didn't they? In that win?
Yeah, I mean they have been tremendous in building this culture here, and what my vision was with this group to hold this team to 24 points in the second half, to turn another team over 24 times, and just fight tooth and nail when it didn't look good at times, and show some poise at the end finally, and make the right plays and kind of got things done. And the stops were huge, and guys just stepped up across the board. I think everyone was, you know, really engaged in fighting and battling. And Tasmania deserves a team that's very, very work ethic oriented, and I'm just proud of these guys.
I reckon you had probably 10 offensive rebounds in the last couple of minutes of the game. That just comes down to hustle and wanting it more, doesn't it? And that's what your guys showed.
Yeah, you know, we've been preaching about getting back on the offensive glass. We did that a little bit earlier. Again, we're trying to scrape out points here and there and just compete. And we're pretty passionate about, you know, getting offensive rebounds and at least being in rebounding position. And, you know, we're a smaller team in general, so all the scrappiness from, you know, the guards getting back in there and our bigs tapping balls out, you know, we're just trying to create extra possessions. And, you know, obviously it's no secret that we've had a little bit of trouble, obviously, scoring the ball at some rate. But our defense has been there through thick and thin, and it showed up in the fourth quarter and basically in the second half.
And Josh, just for you, must have felt great to see your shot fall and to play such a big part in that fourth quarter, especially to get the win.
Yeah, it was great to get a win first and foremost. And also nice when the ball goes in. You know, just to have a little bit of a rhythm there in the fourth quarter was kind of, you know, a turning point for our team. And we were able to, I think most of the second half we got good shots and we ran offense that we like to run and we got shots that we want to get. So, you know, it's just a matter of trusting the process and not trying to do it all at once. And I think we're hopefully turning a corner and kind of finding our way.
Hey Josh, it's Fraser here from AAP, mate. Did you and other Josh talk about how you both had the hot hand in the fourth and say, hey, look, we're gonna run this show from now on. We're gonna dictate how the play goes.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of been an ongoing conversation and a work in progress throughout the year. You know, I think we still have a lot of room to grow, and we're still, you know, we're 9 games into this thing and figuring each other out and when guys like to attack. And, you know, he's such a great player that, you know, it's a luxury for me that defenses have to key on him and I can kind of, you know, pick my spots. And, you know, he was great tonight, you know, I think just relentlessly attacking the glass and putting pressure on their defense, especially in the third and fourth quarter when they were getting a little tired. He just kept attacking, and that's what we need from him.
Your coach just mentioned the work ethic orientated style of the Tasmanian JackJumpers. How much did that crowd provide to you tonight, and how important of a win was that for your home crowd?
It's huge. You know, we need them. You know, it's no secret we need them every single time. They're a difference maker for us. You know, just throughout the game, you know, we didn't get off to a great start. They picked us up. You know, we kind of closed the gap there in the early fourth quarter, and they were as loud as, you know, since opening night. You know, they were great all night, and we really rely on them. And I hope that, you know, the product they saw tonight is something they'll support and want to come back and watch again.
Scott, a lot of the headlines tonight will be about both Josh's play and their offense. What was the most impressive thing that you saw from your team tonight?
I think just across the board, if you look at the players that obviously were in this game, but we have a value of 320. It's the 8 guys that are sitting on the bench, the 320 minutes that those guys aren't playing, and we kind of have wrapped our arms around the fact that our values and our culture and the 320 group is always engaged. And I'd love to pick out certain guys here, but for example, Matt Kenyon starts tonight. He's earned his way, and I've always said from day one, I'll play the best players at the moments. He stepped up big and made some plays, but I just think the bench and everyone being engaged and all for one, a we atmosphere, that's culture, and that's winning basketball over time. And this is a process, and we're laying the foundation. I've said this multiple times, that we're building a house, and we're putting in our basement. And that has to be very, very strong and sturdy to get to the first floor. And these guys are doing the work, and like I said, the passion for me to come out was I was just really happy for them, because I see them every day doing the work, and sometimes you don't reap the rewards necessarily, and you get a little discouraged, and these guys just keep coming. They're just relentless. They're just a gritty bunch of guys, and I'm really proud of them.
Your end-of-game passion, Scott, was likened to Pete Weber, the 10-pin bowling man from America, with the "Who do you think you are? I am," and the commentators thought that was great. So yeah, it was a delight to see. Thanks, guys.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
Scott, Jared Lawler from the Murky here, mate. Congrats on the win.
Thanks.
Not to keep harping on your sort of celebrations to the crowd, but do you feel it was a bit of a release of emotion for you? You've been in a tough few games in the home crowd here, and you haven't been able to get over the line. Do you feel it was sort of a sense of relief, that emotion?
No, I just think, to me it was more of a congratulations to the fans that they were there and they stuck through, and, to applaud them and to stay with us. And this is not an easy process to build this from the ground up, and they're a huge part of what we're doing here. We're trying to build a fan base for the entire state, and we're trying to represent them the best we can, and they were fantastic tonight. And again, for me, it was just a release of thanking them and these players, doing the work and getting it across the line tonight. And every win here is monumental in your first year, and you build on them, and I thought they were fantastic.
Absolutely. And on the back of that, how important is a win like this in front of the home crowd? They hadn't seen you guys win in a while, so it's obviously important to keep that morale up for the fans.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you want to win games, and listen, this league is extremely, extremely difficult. Every night you're playing someone that's capable of beating each other, and you have to be on point and ready to go. And again, a new franchise starting from the beginning. I don't think there's a lot of expectations around the league of us in general, but internally we had a lot of expectations about what we could do here and how we could play and how we could be a factor in this league and how we would approach things. And again, I just give credit to these guys.
Absolutely. You obviously had a massive fourth quarter. Was it better execution, or were you just hitting your shots? What did you put that down to?
Well, I think, we've been just harping on things for the last 2 or 3 weeks, that we've had some games get away, and we've continued to kind of work through some things offensively and trying to find a niche and a sweet spot for us to be able to play in, getting guys kind of comfortable. We've talked about offensive rebounding. We've talked about moving the ball a little bit more. We've talked about shot selection. So all those things have been an accumulation of this process on that end of the floor, and it's been a growing process, but we still only scored 76 points, which is fine. But we have a lot of room to go there. And, I think Jack McVay getting up 5 shots, I want him to get 10 shots a game. I think he's a hell of a shooter. And there's just some things that we can continue to build on. There's a lot of growth left in this team, especially on the offensive side of the ball.
Absolutely. Thanks, Scott. And just Josh, one for you, mate. Awesome work. Congrats on your huge last quarter. I guess just how was it being out there in that last quarter with the crowd going crazy and that comeback? I just wanted to sort of know how it felt being out there.
That was great. Feelings like that are why we play the game. The challenge every night to be better than the person across from you is it's a special feeling, and to be able to share that with your teammates it was great. Just the joy that each person in the locker room and each person on the bench felt for every other person was like, it doesn't happen everywhere. So I was just very thankful to play the game we played and be able to dig deep there in the fourth quarter and finish the way we did.
For sure. Obviously, your second game back now since sort of COVID and everything. Do you feel the guys are getting their legs under them? How are you personally feeling and moving forward?
Yeah, I felt good. I think our training staff and coaching staff did a good job of kind of easing guys back and monitoring load and minutes in practice. And, I think we're pretty much at the point we were, before this whole COVID thing hit us. I thought we were, flying around and moving, especially in the third and fourth quarter, which is when we really needed it.
Absolutely. And just one last one for you, Scott, if I can.
Sure.
You've got another game coming up very soon. What are you hoping to take out of this game? What lessons or things you guys did well or didn't do well into that game against the Breakers?
Well, I think, the first thing is we have to celebrate it. These guys deserve that. We'll celebrate it this evening, and we'll get back to work tomorrow, but we'll go through the video and see where we can improve in some areas and just sharpen up. And most importantly, these guys just get recovery tomorrow and rest and get their minds ready to go again and build on what we've done tonight. And we'll show some video, and then we'll flip the page and move on to New Zealand, and we'll get ready to go on Sunday and expect the same type of effort that they've been giving. And we'll just go down the road and see where it goes.
Awesome, guys. Thanks. Congrats again on the win, fellas.
Thank you.
Hello, Scott. Hello, Josh. This is Joseph from the NBL Pocket Podcast. This question's for you, Scott. I hate to be a damper on the mood, but Mikhail McIntosh, there's reports he put on notice and things. I look at this game, 4 points, 1 of 7. Where is he in the scheme of things, Scott?
Well, I think, Josh will speak up to this. I put them all on notice. I make them all uncomfortable. I try to push all the buttons to push them to be better. And every day is an evaluation day. And we're trying to make guys uncomfortable and get them out of their comfort zones to do extra things. And they've been buying into it. And again, I thought Ashley Mikhail was very good tonight. Obviously, statistically, you want to look at that and say, eh. But he brings an element when he's on with his size to defend people, to create turnovers with his speed and quickness. And I'm just hoping here eventually that some of these shots will start to go down for him. But when you win, we all win. And all these guys, Josh, both Joshes, Nikita, Matt Kenyon, all of them, I'm pushing. And I want them to be great. I want that for them. And they know me, and I have their best interests always at heart. And we continue to just make them as uncomfortable, but in a way that's very positive, that is getting more out of them than maybe they thought they had in them. And some guys are really, really responding to just getting outside that comfort zone and really extending themselves. I'll give you a great example is obviously Matt Kenyon tonight. He's been working. We've been pushing him very hard because he has some skill sets that I love. And he makes a hell of a play at the end of the game with a back cut and an and one, and then goes in and makes the foul shot. So those kind of things, to me, are progress. And I just don't look at the stat line and say, not such a great game. You review the film, you be honest with the players, you're forthright with them, and you build trust with them that, this is what we're doing, and this is our expectations, and we want you to live up to those expectations, and we just keep pushing the buttons.
My last question is, tactically, so you forced 24 turnovers, which was a season high for Adelaide and any team in the league up at tied.
Yep.
And then you grabbed 20 offensive rebounds. My question is that sustainable? I mean, they're numbers that are aberrations. How are you going to continue to win games when you've won this one on the strength of a statistical anomaly? You know what I mean, Scott?
Yeah, I mean, listen, we've been flipping some teams over quite a bit in the turnover category nightly. We play people, and we're aggressive. And we're not making adjustments to them. They're adjusting to us because we're going one way and we're swinging at everybody and we're coming after everybody. And this group, like I said, is relentless. And there's some things like offensive rebounding, our defensive pressure, our scramble modes. I see why not. I say why not. We can do this all season, and we have been doing it. I don't see anything that's going to say we can't do it. And again, we're pushing. And the guys have bought in. And we're smart with our practice times with them. We understand where they're at, and we just keep pushing the buttons, and we keep going after people, and we'll see where it goes. And hopefully our offense catches up in some areas, and we convert a lot of those things. We haven't really done a great job of converting in those areas, but I believe in the process. I believe in step by step. I believe in doing the work, and we got workers.
That's all for me. Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks all. Thanks, guys.
You got it. Thanks. All right, buddy. Good evening.
Sorry, do the same.
Yep. Go back to the comfy, cozy battery point area and you'll be fine.
2